Tonight on Wealth Report USA, we uncover the terrifying reality behind America's exploding debt crisis. The United States is now drowning under more than $34 trillion in national debt. Economists are calling it the biggest financial time bomb in modern history. For decades, Washington kept borrowing money as if the bill would never come due, but now the interest payments alone are becoming impossible to ignore. America is now spending more on debt interest than on national defense. That means taxpayers are funding yesterday's borrowing instead of tomorrow's future. Every second, the debt counter continues climbing higher, and experts warn the pace is accelerating faster than ever before. The Federal Reserve's money printing machine may have delayed the pain, but it never solved the problem. Now inflation is exposing the cracks beneath the surface of the economy. The cost of living is rising while purchasing power quietly disappears. Millions of Americans are already feeling the pressure at the grocery store and gas pump, but the real danger may be what happens next, because the government has very few options left: raise taxes, print more money, or slash spending, and every one of those options carries massive consequences. Wall Street insiders are already preparing for turbulence. Large institutions are quietly shifting capital into hard assets, because many believe the financial system is entering its most dangerous decade yet. Now, the crisis is moving directly toward ordinary Americans. Social security is suddenly at the center of the storm. Millions of retirees depend on those monthly checks for survival. But the Social Security Trust Fund is rapidly running out of money. Government reports warn benefit reductions could arrive within the next decade, and many analysts believe 2026 could become a major turning point. Politicians continue promising stability while debt spirals out of control. The math simply no longer works. Fewer workers are supporting a growing number of retirees. That imbalance threatens the long-term survival of entitlement programs. Cover the gap. Washington may aggressively increase taxes. Critics warn Americans are being taxed from every possible direction. Income taxes may rise. Property taxes may rise. Capital gains taxes may rise. And inflation itself acts like a hidden tax on every American family. Many Americans already feel like they are being taxed simply for existing. Meanwhile, wages are struggling to keep up with the real cost of living. The middle class is being squeezed from both sides, and retirement security may become the next casualty. Now some billionaire investors are openly sounding the alarm. Entrepreneur Mark Cuban has repeatedly warned about economic instability. Cuban believes artificial intelligence and automation could transform the labor market, and that transformation may place even more pressure on government programs. Meanwhile, Robert Kiyosaki continues warning about the collapse of paper assets. Kiyosaki argues that fake money eventually destroys real wealth. He believes inflation is silently stealing purchasing power from savers. According to Kiyosaki, the rich prepare before the panic begins, and history shows financial crises create both destruction and opportunity. Major investors are studying every signal coming from the bond market, because bond markets often reveal economic stress before headlines do. Banks are also becoming increasingly cautious. Credit tightening could make borrowing more expensive for everyone. That includes mortgages, credit cards, and small business loans. At the same time, central banks continue buying gold at record levels. That trend is making many investors ask difficult questions. Why are powerful institutions preparing for instability? Why are debt levels exploding across the developed world? And why are governments printing money faster than productivity can grow? These are the questions many Americans are now beginning to ask. Confidence is the foundation of every financial system, but confidence can disappear very quickly during a crisis. That is why fear spreads faster than facts during economic panic. And once panic begins, governments often react aggressively. Emergency spending can temporarily calm the markets, but long-term debt problems never disappear on their own. Eventually, the bill always arrives, and ordinary citizens often pay the highest price. That is why financial education has never been more important, because understanding the system may become the key to surviving it. So, what are smart investors doing right now? Many are reducing exposure to unstable paper assets. Some are moving toward hard assets with real-world value. Gold has historically been viewed as protection during monetary instability. Silver is also attracting attention from investors worldwide. Unlike paper currency, precious metals cannot simply be printed into existence. Others are focusing on cash flow producing assets. Rental properties continue generating income even during inflation. Dividend-paying businesses may also provide stability. Some investors are increasing emergency cash reserves because liquidity becomes critical during uncertain times. Diversification is becoming more important than ever before. Smart investors prepare for multiple possible outcomes. They focus on resilience instead of speculation, and they understand that preserving wealth can matter more than chasing returns. Financial discipline becomes essential during unstable economic cycles. Debt can destroy households just as easily as it can destroy nations. That is why many Americans are now reconsidering how they save and invest. The era of easy money may finally be ending, and the next chapter of the economy could look very different from the last. The warning signs are no longer hidden. Debt is rising, inflation remains dangerous, and confidence in the system is beginning to crack. The decisions made over the next few years may shape America's financial future for decades. This is not about fear. It is about preparation. The people who prepare early often survive economic storms the best. Stay informed, stay alert, and never stop learning about money. Subscribe to Wealth Report USA for more deep investigations into the future of the American economy. This content is for educational purposes only. It is not professional financial advice. Investing involves risk. Always do your own research.